Alright, we are playing more Final Fantasy XIV, finally. I'm a little torn. I know they're doing the updates to the trust system. They just announced that yesterday as we were recording it. And it would be nice to have those, but I also don't want to just not play the game for a month and a half either. I actually want to start going a bit faster with this. At this pace, content's going to come out quicker than we actually play through it, and I do still want to play on Celestia, so yeah. We are going to try to not going to rush through it, we're still going to enjoy it. It's going to take however long it takes, but I think just spend a few more hours streaming per week than we have been, yeah, so we can actually make some good progress. Yeah, last time we left off, we had just defeated Ifrit. He tempered the rest of the group that we were with, but we proved to be immune for some reason. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation as to why. Thancred felt really bad that he almost got us killed, and he came back for us, and this is where we're picking up. So we can dive right into it. I think we don't really have that many events. I don't think we need that up, to be honest. I have it up on my end, so I'll see them. We don't have any alerts, so if I do miss a follow or something, feel free to type something in chat or yell at me. But hopefully everything else goes smoothly. Alright. The triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. To join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Liuki his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner. I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived. That does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. And ill blame yourself for every... Hi. Liuki, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear. Now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume aether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now aether exists throughout creation, it flows through all life, and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone does not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the beings physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give. In order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We do not know the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. Wait, 1 second. Oh, I can't lay out. Okay, sorry. It is though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait, meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The Immortal Flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath. You need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Leoki. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other resource. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom we cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Leoki. Yeah, that's brutal. I like those guys too. We're fun. I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Aha. Bye. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louisa would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Poor Thancred. Not your fault. You did just fine, buddy. Let's see what Minfilia has to say. Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Might have something to do with your newfound fame. We're famous! Wow, that happened quick. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ida and Papalimo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. No sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Leoki. Or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Rah. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I'm given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Leoki, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Leoki's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flames should know of his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other Grand Companies? Eep! Ah, oh no! Your reputation precedes you, Master Alshafern. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. Imagine our pride when we learned that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the 12-wood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Alshafern. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend. Together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It's only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Leoki hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. Guess we're doing some more traveling. We eagerly await your answer. Phew. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Leoki. With it you are capable of doing untold good. You know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch, regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Leoki, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there's naught we cannot achieve. Now, it's time you make ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. He will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Alright, are you ready for some remembrance services? I don't know. Who are we leaning towards joining? Any favorites so far? So I think it was like the 5-year anniversary for the 7th umbral calamity. It's just like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Just like honoring that the people who died at that battle, something like that. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Leoki. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. And next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place? If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seatsier Kani Sana will deliver her address at Mikoto's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved party, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Ralbon al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merwin Blushevin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Denthale, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Alright, to Gridania. Hey, I love teleporting. Oh, nice. I don't know what city we should join. I feel like they all kind of make sense. Be happy with any of them. Maybe leaning towards Gridania a bit. All the archer stuff is here. I think Gridania might be my least favorite of the cities, though. Right. Maybe we'll get inspired by the remembrance services.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood.
Panisena.
Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Yay! Alliance!
5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on that
high
bloody
roads without
insult.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
All
forest.
the elementals!
These other little voices are so funny. Basically. There's something very interesting about them.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no.
Alfie, no.
And my sister, Alize, at your service.
Alize.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
And that's where the voice sent in. Yeah. They have seen them before. I think we've actually seen them before in the game. You go back and watch the very opening scene. They might have been sleeping in the cart that we were traveling in. Yeah, fun little Easter egg there. The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war. They consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelve's Wood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. But how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. When it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we will find out. The Elder Seedseer's words fell on fertile ground. Farewell. Oh, they're cute matching outfits. They're so cute. Alright, so that was Gridania's. Interesting. These tribes, peace, forests, trees, probably some other stuff. Music's a bit too loud. Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Everything or just the music? I feel like the voices were a little quiet to me. Gonna turn. How's that? Should be a little bit lower. Minus 35. Okay. Lower it a little bit more, maybe. Worried the voices are going to be too loud. But shouldn't be significantly louder. But when we have voice cutscenes, they should come through plenty clear. Okay, great. Can you still hear the music all right? I feel like there are points in later expansions where we might turn the music up a little bit, but for now I think it is definitely okay. Where are we going? Oh. We're already in Ul'dah. I like went into autopilot mode for a minute. Alright. Royal Promenade. Here from the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Roban as well!
Aha!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Now that's an opening.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Yeah.
There, at the Flame
good to
General's
hear.
back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
I really likes flags.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet
happy.
many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests.
Oh, that is interesting.
If the fates were fair,
Rabon.
the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous?
I like this guy.
I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the Immortal Flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade.
This would be really fun to be a
Meanwhile,
voice actor for
the
this.
Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth.
Get to go all out
We
like
stand
Shell.
on a precipice, yet we do not act.
That's
Whether
clean.
trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the Immortal Flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ja for Ul'dah!
Yeah.
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Raubon? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of
So
the wealth
cute.
of Ul'dah. Yet
holding
those
her
who
like it's
measure that
nothing.
wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
Such an interesting contrast.
Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
Alice still seems super bored. They're still in matching outfits. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Yeah, we just fought them. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. Yeah, we just fought them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So they have dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Ul'dan send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Everyone's just struggling right now. Bye! Man, I don't know if Alice likes us. He hasn't talked to us once. I bet we're gonna see them again real soon. Shall we go to Limsa Lominsa? Ul'dah fighting the Amalja war refugees. Yeah, get to see the pirates. But yeah, I think so. Celestia started in Ul'dah, so I know a little bit more about the background. Because you're actually, that's kind of the first quest, like the stuff that we did in Gridania when we first got started. And she's very young. I think she like just inherited the throne basically. And so she's very inexperienced and not super confident, I think is kind of what we learned from her there. So that's probably part of why she doesn't speak too much. Forget where to go. I think it's here. Alright, pirates. I'm expecting a party. Don't let me down. Ah. Hey, Pele. Gonna bother me or you gonna go to bed? You're gonna go to bed. Okay. You have to be tired. You've not slept like all day. Them laying on top of me. There you go. Not comfortable? Wish we had the cat cam. Maybe with OBS I can get it set up a little bit easier. My computer seems to be running a lot smoother right now. I don't know if it's because we're playing Final Fantasy instead of Lost Ark, or if it's because we're using OBS now. But either way, okay, I'm petting Pele's chin. She is very happy. I can move my hand back to the mouse. We'll keep going. Yeah, I feel like they should be pretty similar, so that's why I'm thinking it might be OBS, which means maybe it can handle multiple cameras a little bit easier. I'm sad that we have to lose some of the functionality. The other application does have a lot of nice things that I can't just copy over, like a chat overlay. That's really nice. The transition, I'm not sure I can even bring the transitions over or the theme. And yeah, probably a couple other things. I think all the important stuff we probably can, so I don't think that's a reason not to if it does keep the computer running and mean we spend a lot less time debugging, but besides that, maybe it will be okay. I wonder if I can find something like a chat overlay application thing. I think I have a chat. Needs some level of transparency is the problem. It really annoys me when it doesn't have transparency. Okay. Alright, here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick. The Admiral's due to give her address at any moment. Alright, last one. I like that we get some voice.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
Ah.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Yeah, I will never be able to spell her name or say her last name. The weirdest spelling.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
Flying flags, man.
The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa.
Aha!
I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
He's so snarky.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Twin chat? Probably.
Fancy
It
meeting
didn't
you
devote
again.
primer. And they're just like, yeah, whatever. That's close enough, probably. Melweb. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limpsa Lominsa is plagued by 2 beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. Second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence were troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsans' backyard. And that is to say not of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there's no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. While they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be A valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Farewell. Bye, guys. I like your matching outfits. Yuki, reporting in. Yuki, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be incorrect in thinking the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say. What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Alright. What are we gonna do? Actually, kind of want to join Limsa now. Was a rousing speech. Where are we going? What do we think? Limsa? Yes, no? That's what I'm leaning towards. Is Vesper Bay where I need to go? Forget. Yeah, Vesper Bay. Hop on a ferry. Alright, sounds good. We'll join Merylwib. We'll become a pirate. Bunny pirate. I don't remember which one I joined first with Celestia. It was probably Limsa. But I think it's fine to do the same one. The Mirage grand opening is happening now. Performances today by DJ Yams, DJ Alleycat, DJ Swaz. Outdoor and indoor event. Join the party. There's a party! Alright, Lomisa Lomasa, Isa Lassa. I'm back! Oh, there's another door. I thought that was the door. I'm back! Welcome back, Leoki. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Leoki. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. We already decided. No need for suspense. Meanwhile...
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep.
Or twins. Yay.
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
I like the twins.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
It does talk.
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the calamity and 7th umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None.
They are so sassy.
I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them.
Warriors of Light.
Deep are the wounds the calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
Division
You are
among the
most
twins.
welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Yeah, they seem like a handful to babysit, watch over. Oh boy. And we're back. Alright. Gonna go straight to it. No reason to draw it out. How was the Admiral's speech? Ah, but you need not explain. That you stand before me now is answer enough. You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? Yes, we have. That's the spirit, lad. With allies like you, how much stronger is our crew? Let us brave the seas together, friend. Now, the choice is made. It is time to add your name to our rolls. Make your way to Limsa Lominsa and seek out our Grand Company's headquarters. The Maelstrom recruitment officer seems eager to welcome you to Limsa Lominsa's Grand Company. We get Maelstrom red. Die. Can be red. Like them. Maelstrom Command is located on the upper decks. I will send word to our personnel officer to expect you. Duties of a Maelstrom soldier can be arduous and challenging, but I promise you, you will not regret this choice. May your passage be swift and your bearing sure. Alright, back to Limsa Lominsa. Actually, that is kind of nice. Not why I picked them, but there is a ferry that connects the spot to Limsa, so actually easy to get back there. There's also always teleporting, so it's not, again, not that big a deal. But it saves a little money. Can be helpful early on. Back to Limsa. Yay! Yeah, I really hope we don't get seasick. We've made this trip quite a few times. Wait, that's probably... Evidently, the twins were not very happy with the remembrance service. We push forward regardless. Hail, adventurer. What business have you at Maelstrom Command? My name is Leoki Oshifern. I believe you are expecting me? Leoki Oshifern? I, our recruitment officer, sent word of your coming. It shall be my honor to induct you into the ranks of the Maelstrom. Now, before I can accept your oath, you must be made aware of several... Sir! What is it, Private? This better be important. Sir, we received a report from a lookout in Lower Scotia, sir. Imperial forces have fired upon a Highwind Skyways airship. The vessel is in a bad way, sir, and appears to be banking for an emergency landing in Cedarwood. Cedarwood? Damn it, we have no troops available in that area. The bulk of our infantry is bogged down on the coast, skirmishing with the fishbacks. Oshifern, this is highly irregular, but I fear your first duty in service to the Maelstrom must needs be unofficial. If our man in Lower Scotia is correct, the airship will come down in territory crawling with Imperial scouts. If there are any survivors, we must reach them before the Garlands do. Make haste to Cedarwood, locate the airship, and if any of its occupants are alive, make sure they come to no further harm. We'll see about swearing you in upon your return. Got it. Away I go! Cedarwood, huh? How do I get to Cedarwood? Lower... middle... Where's Western Mist? I forget how to go to these places. Oh, wait, here we go. Actually, let's throw in a quick